Okay, so this is the end of season 1. It's taken a while for me to make this video, I know. But I've had this idea for a while on my mind. And I'm going to kind of do this video a bit different than my other videos. So, stay tuned. Roll that intro. Okay, so like I said before, this video will kind of be a different change of pace. Kind of backstory with it. Well, first of all, no script at all. This is just free form, giving you guys all me. This is it. So I'm going to stutter 1,000 times, and I'm going to probably say stuff that may not make sense at first or whatever. But here we go. But this idea came to me when I was making the Remy and Gotti videos that are up, by the way. I want you guys to check them out. Hopefully my editing skills will be great and they'll be somewhere around in this area. Hopefully. But regardless, the idea came to me around that time. And so the making of the video really kind of actually held me back. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to actually title this differently, but it is what it is. But what happened is that I was thinking about all the different dogs that have been picked throughout the years and stuff like that, all the different legends that are here and all that type of jazz. And the question I really wanted to ask was, what would happen if, a big question like this right here, what would happen if Richard didn't pick Gotti? What would happen if Fabian didn't pick Remy? What would happen if all 9 of the grand champions didn't, pick their picks? There's a couple of stories that I know, that I've been told by the actual owners and stuff like that of their picks and stuff. And some of the stuff is actually quite interesting. Like when you get into this stuff, and I kind of want to share that with you guys today. So. Yeah, so we can go ahead and start with one of my favorite come-up stories in general. But real good dude, I consider him a good friend. Antonio Mclennan. Now, Antonio Mclennan, and like I said, hopefully my editing skills will be, I'll have it right up there. But he basically he's the owner of Grand Champion Rick Ross and Grand Champion Champion Yokozuna. Basically with that, what if Antonio didn't pick Ross? You know what I mean? What if he didn't pick Ross? Would Antonio still be that same person? Now, me knowing him, what I do know of him and just kind of how he speaks, I'm pretty sure he would agree that, hey, look, Antonio would be like, look, I'm still kicking ass. I would still be kicking ass in this ring or not. But the story how it was told to me, right, was basically that, Ross wasn't even the first pick out of the litter. Shocker to, I know, a lot of you guys, because I know a lot of people think that, these picks that are legends in this game are probably all the first picks dogs. First pick dog, the biggest and the baddest and this and that, yada, yada, yada. But that's not necessarily always true. I mean, Remy is a good example of that. But anyway, to make a long story short, basically, Ross was, I believe he either said he was the 3rd or 4th pick. But the story kind of goes along the lines of Ross was bought by someone originally. And I guess the lady was in the service and she couldn't have the dog. So she returned the dog back to Antonio. And I guess he did what he did with the dog, and the dog ended up becoming one of the most well-known dogs in the dog game. From standards to pockets to this, everybody knows this dog. I remember when I first became aware of Antonio and just, well, that line of dogs, everything. I was at my first dog show, and as a lot of you guys probably know, it's very, very populated with smaller dogs, and I like bigger dogs. So at the time when I was there, like I said, it was just smaller dogs. There was these two enormous, huge dogs. This was a show in North Carolina, and these people were just walking around with these dinosaur-looking dogs. And at this time, this is like way back. So big dogs, I was only looking at them on the internet. So I never had, excuse me, I never had a chance to see these, bigger dogs in person. So it was a real good change of pace. And to be honest with you guys, these dogs are a lot different when they're in person. People can be misleading with pictures, but these dogs are a lot different in person. And, I just asked the guy, guy, where did you get, did you buy these dogs or whatever? I was very curious. And it was just like, my main man, Antonio, hooked me up. And then he just got into the spiel of that blood and stuff like that. And just like, they're off of Grand Champion Rick Ross. And me not knowing nothing about dogs at this time, I didn't even know what a Grand Champion was. Like, this is way back. This is years ago back. And I'm just like, Grand what? You know what I mean? I'm just like, Grand, what are you talking about? And, they just kind of put me on game and stuff, explained to me. And just like, he's one of the biggest in Virginia. He's one of the biggest in the world. Blah, blah, blah. There's only, at that time, I think it was only 8 Grand Champions at that time. This was years ago, so there was probably only 8. And yeah, he just went into the spiel and he was just explaining to me everything. And I was just like, this is pretty cool. Like these dogs are the truth, man. This is really cool. And years down the line, I've actually met Antonio in person. Like me, Miss Tora, we've been to his house and stuff like that. We've seen a lot of his dogs in person, and they're a lot better than they are in pictures, in my opinion. That's just me, though. Just seeing them, and then not only that, it's just a whole different level. Meeting him in person, just in awe, and then the fact that he was aware that you have people that have watched, because it was years after that dog show. It was years after this stuff like this would happen. And he was just like, man, it's real humbling for me to have got out there, did all that hard work, and then people to be really in love with my work. And that was a big thing for me, because I've never met none of these big time celebrities. I met people with bigger dogs around in that time, in that threshold of those years in between. I ended up starting meeting people, but I never met anybody who was without a doubt one of the best in the ring and who consistently produces that stuff. But I begged the question. I just started thinking, what if he didn't pick Ross, right? What if he didn't keep Ross? Like I said earlier, just the way he speaks, I know he's just like, hey, look, I still would have did it. But it had me wondering. Yeah. Antonio, he's cool people. If he somehow sees this video, man, I appreciate your time, dude. Honestly. And yeah, that's pretty much it for him. Who's next? Okay, so next, I wanted to do Sarah Roach. That's her name. Hopefully my editing skills have got this up here. So, think about her. First of all, it's a she in a male-dominated industry thing. Blah blah blah. You don't have a lot of women that's gonna get down and dirty and handle these dogs. It's just as simple as that. She is also one of the legendary 9. This is what I call them. People, the 9 people who have Grand Champions, XL Grand Champions, ABKC XL Grand Champions. She is widely she is widely credited and known for owning and I believe producing Grand Champion Timbo, which I have a female now that has Rick Ross and Grand Champion Rick Ross and Grand Champion Timbo all in the same pair. Video probably come out on her whenever season 2 comes out. We'll news on that later. But regardless of that, yeah, same kind of spiel. What if she didn't pick Grand Champion Timbo? Would she still be as one of the most recognized breeders, show dominators that she is. I had thought about that. I mean, in my opinion, of course, she comes from a stronger and she comes from a harder way than a lot of us, probably does. I mean, she's a woman. I mean, it is what it is. But she does her thing. So that's cool. And I'm glad to have purchased something from her yard. Like I said, I have a female she's a great granddaughter of a grand champion, Tembo. Her father is dual champion Nitro, ABKC, BRC, or RKC. I can't remember at the time, but he is a dual champion though. And, just kind of seeing her, since I've gotten this dog and really kind of gotten like a kind of tunnel vision on her as well. Just seeing how she's maneuvered in this game throughout the years, and just, her accomplishments is crazy to imagine. What if she wasn't known for owning the only XL Tri Grand Champion right now in existence? It's facts. For the ABKC. The only one. It's a pretty big feat in of itself. You know what I mean? She did a thing. For a lot of people who believe that when you add color, or when you're just going for color, you're not going to get any structure. You're not going to get any bone. You're not going to get any of this. I mean, hey, look, she defied a lot of stuff. But, what if she looked in that litter and didn't decide to keep Tempo? Things could be different. The game could be impacted a whole different way. But who knows? Who knows? Now, at the making of this video, this is my next person. At the making of this video, I don't know all the information that I believe I should know about the ICK history and all their stuff with their controversies and all that type of stuff. So that's a disclaimer right here and right now. I don't know. But I had to ask a question. What if Roman didn't pick Disciple? Would ICK be, and ICK being Iron Cross Kennel, would they be as big as they were at the time that they were? I don't know. This is a thing, right? And I can kind of segue into this because I don't know too much about ICK. I don't really want to get into it. But all these questions could be, really asked to a high degree about anybody or anything. Would anybody say that it's a luck of a draw, right? Like, boom, give you another example of someone, and I'm so blessed to have him in on my, I had a bully talk thing. That was going on my Instagram. I don't do it now, but I did have it. I may bring it back. I don't know. But what happened was basically, it ended up becoming 9 grand champions recently with a dog that I'm actually kind of liking now these days. Vibes Cartel. Hopefully I have a picture of him up here. Hopefully. But basically, his thing is actually kind of funny too. So Vibes, who ended up becoming a grand champion, actually wasn't his owner's pick. He didn't want him. He did not want him. But, and this is what I was told from somebody else, so I don't, I didn't get this exactly from him. But I am inclined to believe this is maybe what he was thinking. But basically, it went along the lines of, his brother, it was the dog that he actually kept. And he wanted him to become a grand champion, this and that. But he believed that it had been too hard to do because his brother's just a blue dog. You know what I mean? It's just another blue dog. It's like the game has so many of them. So I guess he was thinking that maybe it wouldn't have worked. But he ended up using Vibes. And he got that dog to where he needed to be. He got that dog with all the credits, all the accolades, and from a lot of the people who own grand champions that I've been asking around about, they actually like him. I mean, he is a nice looking dog, like 100%. I love their mantra over there. The complete dog. I love that. I 100%. He, like I said, he was in our bully talk one time, and he basically kind of explain like, hey, look, he may not have the biggest head. He may not have the biggest bone, but in all fronts, he doesn't necessarily lack something major. Some dogs may just have a huge head, but then a super high rear. He's not really lacking anything, and he doesn't. He doesn't at all, in my opinion. I'd have to see the dog in person, but these people live out in Texas, so we'll see how that'll ever happen. I would love to do business with I can't think of his name at the moment for some reason. Alan? Could be wrong. I would love to do business with him one day, but yeah. And let's get into our last one. I'm pretty sure you guys kind of already know who I'm about to speak about, and that is, of course, Grand Champion. I think he was the Grand Champion. But Grand Champion, and I should have made a video on him, but Grand Champion, Gotti Lines Dax. I don't know why they changed the eye, whatever. Yeah, so Dax. As a lot of people know on my page, I am not super fond of Dax. And that is specifically because of the controversy that happened. And for those who know about the controversy and those who don't, I'm going to give the elementary school story, basically, of what happened. Basically, it seems as if Dax is actually a mutt. I know someone in the comments will come out and just be like, all these dogs are mutts. They might well be, but at the end of the day, this dog, it was widely accepted that he may have actually been really been a mutt. The litter wasn't consistent. There was a lot of things that was going wrong, and how Dax died and the age he died in. People really believe that Dax was bred to a bulldog. That's the consensus. And like I said, I'm only giving that. I'm not going to go into it, but it was a controversy, and his owner Ed Shepard, who recently passed. I think it was 2 years ago. Recently passed. See, when Dax came out, Dax was like the biggest dog in the game at the time. Like, it was like a fundamental change in the game how it went. And I think that looking back, I think that some people have more or less accepted that it is what it is, that dog was fake or whatever. If anybody wants to ask me my opinion, I'd rather say that for a video. But all I can say right now is it is what it is. But like I said, I don't. It is, But, the question brings to this. Like, this is a legend. Remy, that was a legend. Gotti, that was a legend. And I've had my fair share of say-sos with those dogs as well, which I may get into in this video too. But, basically, what if he didn't pick Dax? He already said, it's on video. He already said, because, people were just like, man, this dog became a phenomenon after the fact. They grew up and stuff like that. And, why did you name him Dax? And he specifically said he didn't know that he was going to be anything. You know what I mean? He just gave him a name. He didn't really know he was going to be anything. And he ended up being something. But it's just like, especially when you hear that, it's just like, how do you even know? Is it fate? Was it supposed to happen? I don't know. I look back on a lot of these legends, like Remy, or Gotti, or Disciple, or Grand Champion Rick Ross, Grand Champion Saki Bob, Grand Champion Knuckles, Grand Champion Vibes Cartel, or any of these dogs who are considered legends or whatever, that are, owned by their owner or whatever. And then a lot of these dogs who are produced by their owners. What happened? Where would the game be if they didn't? What would have happened if they didn't? Would the game be the same if they didn't? I'm just being honest. What if Remy, with the same story, what if Remy wasn't picked by Fabian? What if he was just picked up by some random soccer mom family or whatever like that? Who would probably had been neutered at like 6 months. I'm not trying to laugh, I'm sorry. But would have probably been neutered at like like 5, 6, or a year old, it would have became nothing. Would have, nothing at all. Right? It gets you to think, and I just wanted to ask that question. I'm not trying to make this video overtly too long. I'm pretty sure this is long enough. But I needed to go ahead and do some updates real quick before we get up out of it. So first of all, I appreciate everybody joining me on these 10 videos. I did not think I was going to be doing a YouTube channel. I'm still trying to learn. I'm a little, pollen still got me kind of messed this way. My voice sounds kind of different. I really appreciate you guys coming out. For everybody who's waiting for us to get back to breeding, at the time of this video, so this will kind of be dated, Roxy will be dropping puppies probably on the 13th of June, so in the next couple weeks. Then we have an amazing, our first celebrity breeding in September, so that's going to be great. I'm hoping to want to keep every single thing out that litter. Just saying. That'll be great. So guys, definitely, if you guys haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Torque Kennels, or Facebook, follow us there, same handle. Please subscribe, same handle. Everything, it's the same thing, the same symbol, everything. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back as fast as possible to start season 2. I think that I've said a lot about the industry. I think I may want to change, do a little change of pace, though I will still be how I was, but just to be, I guess, a little bit more user-friendly. Because some people may not like, the way I critique certain things. And that is what it is, but I'm going to always do what it is that I feel as if, it's right. But I really appreciate you guys coming out. I guess to answer the final thing with this, what would have happened if I never picked any of my dogs? Like, one dog that I think that had one of the most tragic stories, but kind of rag to riches story, is my dog Maximus. A lot of people know that dog. They see him. When I was searching for a whole nother dog, I was searching for a male. This is back when I didn't really know anything still. I had got Max for a decent price. That I thought was decent back then.
Hey, boy.
And never knew that it would have been actually way better. But basically what happened was I got them from these people that were kind of abusing the dogs. They were kind of frustrated that they couldn't sell the puppies. So they were giving them the absolute minimal, how can I say, just feeding the dogs. They were just terrible with them. And I had ended up, I was waiting for Max for a whole week, and I ended up getting him. And I didn't know. I had ended up arguing with the people who I bought Max from, and it was just terrible. The dog looked like a cat. It looked like a bony kitten. But basically, I did my best to, research, because I didn't really have. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have any money for a vet, so I had to do my best at what I could do with what I had. And basically, I did a lot of research on food, feeding, right? Because it was a different story at that point. I knew I had to feed right, and get some food in this dog, do it the right way, and get him the best stuff. And we just basically, he started sprouting up. I'm not trying to make it like a Remy story, but he basically just started sprouting up, and he became this real buff, nice, short, stocky, amazing, classic, amazing looking dog. And yeah, he's known throughout the country. He's known in different countries. I have a lot of people in Spain that keep asking me for more of his, they want to use his blood, kind of implement it into their programs. It's just this crazy thing where, he's a grandfather now. At the time of making this video, in the next couple of weeks, he'll be finally 3 years old. And me and this dog have come a long way from just a lot of shit, if I could say so. A lot of stuff. And it's crazy to look back at all the stuff that we've been through, and all the times I'm like, I don't want to deal with this dog no more. Somebody else take him, or this or that. It's just, That's my dude. He'll always be my dude. I can't wait to work more with him in the future. But yeah, I look at it and I have to ask the question to myself: what type of breeder would I be if I never grabbed him? I don't think that I would be where I'm at. It would have never built as much character. I would have never built as much character as I did. I'd have never had to get as strong as I needed to quicker. If I didn't have him, he really made me build a lot more character, and I'm forever grateful for that. And yeah, man, this is just what these dogs do. Honestly, I can't wait to make more stories like this. Have more stories like this for for me to tell you guys. I know this video was kind of not really structured in any type of way. It's supposed to be like that. Just it is what it is. This is for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please watch it again, share, subscribe, and appreciate you guys coming out for season. This is the end of season 1. See what I'm saying? This is exactly why I need a script. But thanks guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope to catch you guys next time. Peace.